Good morning. Welcome to day 21 of the 30-day challenge and day 1 of Deer. Deer has a spirit of connection to spirit. And I've been thinking, how on earth do I talk about this? Introduce it, because, it's a strange topic, isn't it? Some people love that idea, but maybe go off into a kind of fantasy world of unicorns and deers. And other people are really put off by the idea of spirit and kind of just like things to be real. Yeah, stop with all this fantasy stuff. I'm probably from the latter camp, so this is kind of hard for me to talk about. Nevertheless, I will, and yeah, I guess there is more to this world than meets the eye, is what I would say, and more to this world than we can hear. And that kind of makes me think of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu's famous book of Taoism. And there's a line in there that says something like the 5 eyes the 5 colours blind the eyes, the 5 sounds deafen the ears, the 5 tastes dull the senses or confuse the senses. And I think in there is something we're aiming at in Deer. Because I don't know if you've ever seen, just as one of those examples, the full electromagnetic spectrum on a graph, and the tiny bit of which our eyes can see, visible light, the light spectrum. And it's huge, and we tune in on just a tiny bit of it. And so, perhaps we could imagine or wonder why, why is it that we just tune on that little bit of the electromagnetic spectrum, and what would it be like if we could be aware of the entire spectrum? So yeah, that's kind of where I might come from in terms of keeping it real, but nonetheless, wow. And the other thing that I guess I'm on more comfortable ground, is to talk about the method. What method does Deer use to connect to spirit? And where are we in the story? Because we started with Crane opening up, releasing the connections, releasing the holdings of the body to enable us to connect everything up. We then went to Tiger, which told us to go deeper and be courageous, have no fear. We then went to the Bear, that wanted us to be grounded, just connect to the earth, don't go away with the fairies, we are of the earth, and take it easy. Yeah, we work hard, we work long, but we take it easy and we find ease in this work. And then after connecting to the earth with the Bear, we follow the story arc, and it comes to connect to spirit. And in many ways that could be the highest aim of these Qigong, Neigong arts, and the sort of the end of this story, even though we know we've got one animal to come, we'll get to that. But here we are at sort of in many ways, the culmination of the journey in microcosm. So what is the method Deer gives us for that. We are going to be really, really opening up the spine in a big way. There's something of this work which is about our central channel. And so the spine, so you have an energetic central channel. The spine is not it, but we need to open up the spine in order to free it up, to get to work with it. So Deer does that, frees up the spine. Deer also has a real emphasis on stillness. So we've had it bits and pieces in the different animals, but in deer there is a lot of stillness to work with. There's also lots of movement. Okay. Deer also juggles with our mind. It forces us to harmonize the left and right parts of our brain in very much the way that if you've ever learned to juggle, you will be familiar with, and so many other arts force you to do this. You cannot consciously control juggling. You have to practice it and feel it. And in the doing of that, the left and right parts of the brain have to work together. So get out of your conscious brain. Deer makes you do that. Deer also frequently points to this part of the body and activates this part of the body, the top of the head. Some traditions might call it the crown chakra. In Qigong, Neigong, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, we would call this Bai Hui. Take the highest point of your ears, draw a straight line up, and where those fingers meet is Bai Hui. So yeah, Deer frequently points us to here, another part of the method. And then at the end, Deer is going to get us walking in circles as well. A new method, a whole new method to learn there. So anyway, let's start with Deer 1, yeah, and this process, which is really opening up the spine. And because actually Deer 5 is quite a lot to take in, today we will do Deer 1 and Deer 2, because it's not too complicated and they both ask us to really open up the spine. Okay, here we go. Deer 1. So I guess before we start, let us warm up this part of the body, which is the Mingmen. Yeah, so take the backs of make two fists, take the backs of your fists and just rub the small of your back. Rub, 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 rub. We can kind of bounce with it as well. Don't be ginger. You can be fairly firm. You want to rub to create friction, to create heat. Okay. And then let's extend that down so that now the knuckles are rubbing either side of your coccyx, your tailbone. And again, don't be shy. Really get in there. Make friction, make heat. If you break the skin on your knuckles, you've gone a bit too far. Okay. Okay, so having done those two, we'll spread wide. And this is just like our foundation work, the exercise from our foundation work. So head up, sacrum down, press into the ground, spread wide, head up, sacrum down, press into the ground, spread wide. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Okay. And then just make two fists and rest them in the small of the back. This area we will call Mingmen, sometimes translated as the gate of life. Ming is life and fate as well. So, I need to take a little step forward to give me room. Okay, we're going to go into Deer 1, having warmed up our lower back. So, sink into one side, pick up, having a wobble today, pick up one foot, step behind, yeah. The toes can point out a little bit, then transfer your weight back and then open out. Okay, so we're opening out the chest. Arcing backwards, and then sit down into your back leg, roll forwards, and don't stop until your nose is by your knee. Okay, don't really transfer the weight forwards, in fact. The weight stays on the back leg. Open up, opening up the spine. And all parts of the body. Lower leg, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to push off the back leg so that our weight does come to the front and stand up. Okay. Let things settle when you first do this. Bring the right foot forward in front of the left. Pick up and place down. We can have a dramatic stamp if we like there. Okay, the other side, so the weight goes into the right, the left foot comes forward. We pick up the left, step behind. We can have end up with the back foot, toes pointing out a little bit. Yep. Bring your weight into the back, find the ground, and then arc backwards and really open up the chest. You might want to breathe in at this point, which would allow you to breathe out at this point. So into the back leg, rolling down, and don't stop until your nose meets the knee. Doesn't have to touch, just round about. Okay, so again, we're going to push off the back leg until our weight's over the front and stand up. Let's let that settle down so we don't fall over. Then we bring the left foot in front of the right. Pick up and come down. Yeah, with a stamp. Okay, so onto the first side. Right foot goes forward, picks up, reaches behind. You transfer the weight and then open out. Open the chest as you arc backwards. And then roll down, sitting into the back leg. Roll forwards.
And here you can actually, if you're well grounded in the back, so you really find your centre, your belly, and make sure that's rooted over the back foot, and you're really at that point, you can then think about releasing the head in this position so that your belly is all nice and anchored over the back foot, and you can just let your head release away and down. Yeah, lengthening the spine. So let's get out of that. We push the foot, the back foot, to bring us onto the front foot. We bring the right foot forward, pick up and stamp. Okay. Transfer our weight, put the left foot forward, pick it up, reach behind, transfer the weight, roll back, open up. And then we sit down into the back leg. Getting grounded over the back foot is important. And then that anchors the base of your spine over the back leg, and then you can release the spine towards the head and release the head away from the center. Expand. Okay. Press off the back foot until your weight's over the front. Bring the foot forward. Step up and down. Okay, that's your Deer 1. And the work of Deer 2 is kind of similar. There's stuff going on at the back, so I'll show you that first. We're going to go 1 and 2. Yeah, so let's start with the 1, then with the 2. Then we're going to keep the fists. They're going to come under the armpits, and we're going to do this. Now, that's your hands, I'll show you close up, go from fists to here. It's kind of a deer mudra. We get antlers, yeah. If that feels hard to create, hard to hold, you can just go with a soft fist, okay? So you've got two options here, that. But today I'm going to be using deer antlers. Yeah, it's a video. Let's do it for show. Our deer antlers. Okay, so how do we start it? We go 1 and 2 with fists. We come up all the way to under the armpits, and this time it's the left leg that's going to come up. Okay. Then we'll end up coming down to here again, fists here. So 1, 2, 3, under the armpits. Pick up the right leg. Make your antlers. Okay, they'll come down. And we're going to go 1, 2, into the other leg, under the armpit, pick up the left leg. Antlers here. Okay. So this is, that's just part of Deer 2, but the part that you won't be able to see when I'm facing camera. Okay, so this is therefore Deer 2. So let's spread wide with an in-breath, come back down again with an out-breath, come up under the armpits. Let's pick up the left leg, make deer antlers, step forward this time, then we sit into the back leg and roll. So it's very similar to Deer 1, except we stepped forward into it, and now we have our arms involved.
So the center of your palms, that is an important point in the body for Chinese medicine and Qigong, Neigong work called Laogong. So the center of your palms is facing into what's called the eyes of the knees, the two depressions in your knee below the kneecap. Okay. So Laogong is pointing to there. Okay, let's push off the back leg, come onto the front, come up and roll out like that. Yeah, so the hands were down like this, we come up and we roll like that. We're going to push off the front leg and expand. Yeah. Then we come down and behind, and the antlers turn to fists. And then we do the work behind. Open for 1. Down for 2. On 3, the fists come up under the armpits. We pick up the right leg this time. Make our antlers. Step forward. Sit into the back leg and roll. Again, similar to deer 1. Nose has travelled to the knee. Our weight is on our back leg. But now these centres of the palms point either side of your knee. Weight in the back leg, spine opening up. Okay, let's push off the back leg, come up, and then we roll. So we point the palms away from the body, push back off the front leg, expand wide, come behind, make your 2 fists, and then do your back rubbing work. Spread for 1, down on fists for 2, up, pick up the left leg, make your antlers, step forward and roll. Weight in the back leg, centers of your palms pointing at the eyes of the knee. Allow your spine to open or release the head. Push off the back leg. Bringing your weight to the front. Roll the palms. Push back. Extend. Open up. Come back down. And do our back rubbing. Wide. Down. Keep as fists. Under the armpits. Antlers, and the right knee comes up this time. Step forward. Sit into the back. Roll. Release the spine. Weight in the back leg. Hold and release. Yeah, the spine is opening. Okay, then we're going to push off the back leg into the front. The palms roll away from the body. Push back and expand. Open the chest. Come behind. Let it expand, and then when you've done enough of that, you expand and you come back to 2 fists. At Mingmen, just hold there. Let it all settle. Just tune into the sensations of the body.
Okay. If that's the end of your practice for the day, you might want to bring the palms around from behind and close to your belly. Yeah. Okay, so there we have Diyas 1 and 2. Good luck with that one. Work hard.